You said, what did Obama know? We know he knows this much. Everything you just read, he knew.
Fasten your seatbelts. Mark Levin has just dropped a bomb that will turn everything you ever knew about Obama on its head. Levin has finally provided shocking information that seems to overturn everything that was known about Obama's White House tenure. These leaks are going to disrupt the political land as they contain data on the current political policies and shocking personal accusations. Why does such information cause such a scandal? And what could they mean for Obama's legacy? Stay tuned as we dive deep into the details and uncover the shocking truths behind Levin's latest revelations. Who is Mark Levin? Having said that, permit me to pull back the curtain and introduce you to the man behind the curtain, Mark Levin. Who is this titan of conservative opinion-making? Mark Levin, in the meantime, is one of the most popular and influential political commentators and activists in the United States whose views are rather conservative. He began his professional life in the legal profession as a lawyer and as the chief of staff of the Attorney General Edwin Meese III in the Ronald Reagan presidency. In this capacity, Levin had ample time to study more constitutional law and federal policies that would be useful to him in media business. After Levin left government service, he took to the media and was a darling of the fraternity within conservatism. Levin started hosting his radio show in 2006, hosting a show that is famously known as The Mark Levin Show. The show quickly attracted many listeners because of Levin's passion and the raw conservatism that he embraced. His approach was to condemn liberal policies aggressively and at the same time endorse the Constitution just as aggressively, which made him well-loved among conservatives and a go-to person for conservative news outlets. This has ensured that Levin's show is now a staple of right-wing thinking because it is popular with supporters and loathed by opponents. Besides, Levin is a man of radio and letters. He is an author of numerous works, including the following. His books such as Liberty and Tyranny and the Liberty Amendments are bestseller books and are regarded as the standard within the conservative community. These works have positioned Levin as a scholar. They provide both a sweeping and a deep treatment of the political and constitutional issues, as well as the need to renew conservatism. He writes in a very polemical way, and this has given him an authoritative outlook in political commentaries. However, Levin has not been without controversy in his career as a football pundit. He has been accused of being a noisy fellow and a man who can challenge anybody at any given time. Most of his criticisms directed to President Obama and other Democratic leaders have been viewed by people as politically motivated and hostile. Thus, people have developed mixed views about the commentator. Critics argue that Levin is guilty of exaggerating his words to the extent that the actual arguments are obscured with reference to sensationalism and bias. However, Levin has his core audience, the audience that will always appreciate his devotion to the conservative opinion and the desire to challenge the existing political concepts. Levin is not only involved in the media, but also is one of the leading personalities of conservative activism. He also employs public speaking, television, and social media, which is an extra advantage to him. Through understanding of the law, politics and media, Levin has become an influential figure in the conservative opinion. Thus, despite the controversies connected with Levin's career, he still occupies the position of a commentator and an author who shapes opinions among the population in the sphere of politics. The big reveal. What did Levin leak? But what did Levin actually spill? Fasten your seatbelt because here we go with the details that will blow your mind. Mark Levin has come up with new revelations that have created a stir in the political arena and has provided a list of potentially embarrassing and possibly damaging details about Obama. It is not just politics. Some of these releases are sensitive and highly inflammatory information that may radically shift public opinion about Obama as a president and a man. The sensational presentation of Levin's leaks started with a number of large-scale broadcasts and publications. Levin said that his sources, which he referred to as insiders, gave him privileged information, as well as documents and first-hand narratives. Levin notes that these leaks were collected through very careful research and the use of a number of insiders who were unhappy with the existing order of things. The way Levin has presented this information through his radio show and subsequent articles has been dramatic and calculated in an effort to grab people's attention. According to the leaks, it contains several revolutionary exposures. First of all, there are the facts concerning the number of policies considered by many as radical and enacted by Obama. Levin's leaks point to the fact that some of these policies were either not well explained to the public or were explained in a way that was not very truthful during Obama's tenure. This may contain new information on healthcare reforms, international policies, and strategies that might present new ideas of Obama's administration's intentions and impacts. The way Levin presents these policies is to raise questions and question the general understanding of Obama's policy record. Besides policy information, Levin's leaks are said to have contained personal information about Obama's private life. These allegations, if true, may expose some aspects of Obama's private and professional life that were not known or would be considered undesirable by many. Such revelations can be very dramatic and shift the public opinion, which is something that might tarnish Obama's image. That is why Levin, who paints personal allegations as severe and in some cases scandalous, does not miss an opportunity to emphasize that such accusations harm the accused personally. Another aspect of the leaks is the information about Obama's interactions with other politicians. Levin's revelations are claimed to contain some previously unknown details regarding Obama's contacts with politicians of the USA and other countries. Such knowledge may help explain how these relationships affected political choices, bargaining, and partnerships during Obama's administration. That these revelations can shift the perception of political processes and strategies makes the leaks given by Levin even more interesting and valuable. The implications of these revelations are therefore rather far-reaching in view of the fact that they can alter perceptions about Obama and his presidency. When confirmed, Levin's leaks could result in new investigations, discussions, as well as debates on Obama's presidency. Thus, a number of policies and controversies, personal accusations, and political machinations create a rather dark and possibly detrimental image of Obama's presidency. Levin's approach of presenting such information is very tactical, as it makes both his supporters and opponents more receptive to the messages conveyed, as well as contributes to the continuous political discussion of the leaks. The leaks exposed. According to Levin, Obama's policies were not just objectionable, they were scandalous. Here's what he uncovered. Levin said that some of Obama's most famous policies, which he implemented, were associated with secret and abuse of power. One of the most striking revelations is that the ACA, the law that has been presented as a major accomplishment, was full of secrets and vices. In Levin's view, the critical elements of the ACA, such as its implementation and financing, were rigged. He argues that Obama and his government generated a false impression of the actual costs and challenges involved on purpose and therefore misled the public. For example, Levin draws the attention to what he considers to be manipulations of the projected and actual costs of the ACA, implying that such manipulations were made with the purpose of misleading the public. Also, Levin's leaks allege that the Obama administration had issues in foreign policy concern. For instance, Levin cites the Iran nuclear deal as an example of Obama's administration slippage and secret negotiations. Levin argues that Obama's administration made concessions that were never announced. Levin claimed that these actions have threatened the security of the nations and were politically motivated, not diplomatically. The alleged exposures of these policies shift the focus from the expected image of Obama's presidency and his administration's credibility. These policies make Levin's critique of them based on what he perceives as deceit and mismanagement of the American people. He says that these issues were poorly handled by the administration, and that this eroded the confidence of the people and had long-term effects. When Levin wraps these policies in the mantle of not only being contentious, but scandalous, his goal is to alter the conversation and force people to reconsider Obama's presidency. His revelations, if accurate, could have far-reaching historical implications for the way that these policies are judged and could lead to a revival in the level of discussion and controversy. But that is not all. Levin's leaks also contain personal attacks of a highly scandalous nature. Let us get straight into the drama. Levin's latest revelations are said to include specific identity claims about Obama that are not politically typical. Some of the most outrageous statements are therefore those to do with Obama as a person and his relationships and behaviors that Levin alleges were covered up. These allegations include so-called facts about Obama's private life, for example, about his cheating on his wife or his misconduct. It is worth stressing that Levin's presentation of these allegations is calculated to draw a large amount of attention and to portray Obama in a way that is quite different from how he is generally depicted. The consequences of these personal allegations can be severe in a wide range of ways. If there is any truth in them, they are not only capable of tarnishing Obama's image, but also his legacy as President of the United States. Such revelations might force a change in the perception of Obama's character and integrity, and might even change the way people remember Obama and how history perceives him. The nature of these allegations, especially if they pertain to serious misconduct, can rile up supporters and critics. Levin's concentration on these personal aspects is to expose Obama as a hypocritical moralist, and the sexual element adds an aspect of scandal that could be used to obscure his accomplishments. As if that is not enough, there are the spicy bits about Obama's off-stage affiliations. Here's the inside scoop. Levin's leaks are said to contain fascinating information about Obama's relations with other politicians and organizations. In Levin's view, these disclosures offer the reader an insight into how Obama managed his interactions with politicians of other countries as well as those of his own country. The leaks hint at the fact that Obama used political skills in negotiations that were not necessarily obvious to the public. For instance, Levin argues that Obama had some kind of transactions with some leaders of other countries and some domestic political leaders, which involved some bargains and some compromises which were not made public. The effects of these relationships on the Obama presidency are as follows. These behind-the-scenes communications make Levin's revelations that these interactions were central to policy and political developments. Levin's goal is to unveil the interconnection of the deals and the bargaining processes by unveiling power relations that shaped Obama's presidency. This could result in a rethinking of Obama's political choices and whether the decisions were policy-based or election-based. Reactions and fallout. What are the big names in politics saying about such revelations? The reactions are as diverse as they are passionate, it seems. The leaks by Mark Levin have raised a range of responses from some of the prominent political personalities due to the nature of the revelations. On one side, conservative politicians and commentators have largely bought Levin's claims. They regard the leaks as revealing a sensational story that they have harbored suspicions about Obama's administration all along. For example, the House Speaker, Kevin McCarthy, said that Levin has the courage and dedication to get to the truth, implying that the leaks may be the key to understanding Obama's presidency. Likewise, Republican Senator Ted Cruz supported Levin by stating that the latter's expose is a step toward bringing someone to justice and urged for more probe on the said accusations. On the other hand, most of the Democratic leaders and Obama's supporters have dismissed the leaks as being politically motivated and as having no substance. The man himself, the former President Obama, has also kept his peace and has not been confrontational or even vocal about the allegations. However, the claims have been refuted by Obama's spokespersons, who have described them as a distraction to serious policy debate. Senator Elizabeth Warren and Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez have also condemned the leaks with Levin of trying to erode confidence in our democracy through what they deem as sensationalized and misleading information. Following these various responses, there has been rising calls for bipartisan investigation of the allegations. Some of the middle-of-the-road politicians like Mitt Romney have opined that while the leaks are something that deserves attention, the matter should be handled in a balanced manner, and there should be an effort to look for facts. Romney's statement is a typical characteristic of the Republican Party, a call for investigation of the matter while not resorting to rhetoric. The press and the public have been whipped up. Here is how the press is responding to Levin's sensational revelations. The media's reaction to Levin's revelations has been dramatic in the extreme. Media has been full of reports ranging from extended research articles to mere sensationalism. CNN and Fox News, for instance, have offered major segments of coverage to the leaks, each with its own bias on the matter. CNN has concentrated on questioning the reliability of Levin's sources and the political agenda of the leaks. The network's analysts insist that it is crucial to turn to the specifics of the source and the given political environment when considering the allegations. On the other hand, Fox News has been portraying the revelations as a major scandal, with the anchor Tucker Carlson referring to them as a seismic shift in our understanding of Obama's presidency. Fox News hosts have invited conservatives who have applauded Levin for his investigation and demanded action. The difference in the coverage shows the highly politicized nature of the media, since the analysis of the leaks depends on the political stance of the source. The reaction from the public has also been the same. That is either positive or negative. In the wake of the appearance of the information on the internet, social networks have become full of debates, discussions, and memes connected with Levin's statements. In social media, especially Twitter and Facebook, people are going crazy with the allegations by engaging in the following arguments. The hashtags associated with Levin's revelations have risen, and the arguments have escalated, thus highlighting the public's great concern with the story. The people's perception is rather polarized along partisan lines. The conservatives are likely to regard the leaks as a revelation of major wrongdoing, while the liberals are likely to see them as a partisan witch hunt. The public also increases its requests for additional investigation and disclosure. Most people are calling on the authorities to investigate the claims, to decide if they have any truth to them and if they are significant. The leaked materials have raised questions about the nature of political campaign, media, and their influence on the public, and the responsibility of the media when covering politicians. What does this mean for Obama's legacy? In what manner will these revelations change Obama's position in history? We analyze the possible implications of all this for his legacy. The manner in which Mark Levin's leaks affected Barack Obama's historical legacy might be significant and varied. Typically, Obama's presidency has been referred to as the transformative presidency, which brought about drastic changes such as the affordable health care, Osama bin Laden assassination, and fight against climate change. These achievements have largely defined his presidency and explain why he has received a favorable post-presidential treatment. Yet Levin brings a new set of revelations that may complicate this narrative in a very dramatic manner. If the leaks are true, then they can alter the perception of Obama's presidency with alleged misconduct and questionable policies. For instance, accusations of the falsehoods that surrounded the passing of the Affordable Health Care bill could diminish Obama's claims to transparency and honesty. Likewise, claims on the candidate's personal behavior and political connection may also compromise the image of Obama as a moral leader who is committed to serve the public. The chances of such revelations adding a more sordid dimension to Obama's presidency means that the historical narratives may move from celebrating his accomplishments to scrutinizing his behavior and choices. The revelations also hold the capability of changing the way the generations to come regard Obama's presidency. Historical assessments are always colored by modern ideologies, and the appearance of such shocking information can change the way historians and other scholars view his presidency. If the leaks cause new investigations or create a great debate, they may provoke a reconsideration of Obama's achievements and shortcomings. The manner in which such revelations are perceived and accepted by the society and by historians in particular will define whether they will be a key aspect of Obama's history or simply a footnote. The long-term consequences of Levin's leaks to Obama's image and the Democratic Party could be severe. For Obama, the potential cost may be seen in several ways. If the allegations become popular and are found to be true, then the positive impacts of his presidency will be reduced, and even the way he is perceived by the public will change. The controversies may obscure or perhaps contribute to a more negative portrayal of his legacy and contributions in history. Such a change in perception might affect Obama's position as a responsible senior figure and his role in the political and social processes. For the Democratic Party, the potential implications of these revelations could almost be as great. The leaks could contribute to internal tensions within the party because it would create discussions concerning the strategies and the principles of the party. If the revelations lead to doubt the integrity of the previous leadership of the Democratic Party, it may result to a call for a new strategy in leadership and accountability. The issues with Obama may become an essential aspect of the future campaigns, as the opponents of the Democratic Party may use the allegations in their fight against the party. At a macro level, the implications of Levin's leaks might be to increase political polarization across the country. The revelations might deepen polarization and partisanship, with Republicans using them to debunk Democratic successes and bolster their own stories. On the other hand, Democrats may come out to support Obama and use the incident to mobilize support and point out how they will address political issues in a more open manner. Legal and ethical questions. What are the consequences of such leaks in the legal framework? Is Levin getting any consequences? The legal implications of the leaks by Mark Levin are many and varied. In one regard, Levin being a commentator and the kind of revelations he made will always be in doubt as to the legal aspect of the information he released. If the leaks were of sensitive information, there could be legal ramifications for Levin and his sources. In case of the leaked material, there may be possible infringements of laws on protection of state secrets, personal data, or non-disclosure agreements. But up to the present, there is no direct indication that Levin is in legal trouble at the moment. There is a problem in this regard because Levin himself has said that most of the information he was revealing was either public or had been legally procured, which makes it a tricky question. The legal analysis in such matters usually concerns itself with questions of whether the information was acquired in a legal manner and whether the disclosure is within the ambit of free speech or journalism. The legal system would have to determine whether Levin's revelations are a violation of any laws or agreements, and if they are, what consequences would be permissible. Furthermore, if Levin's leaks contain sensitive or classified information, there might be consequences to the whistleblower protection and freedom of journalism. This is especially so since legal disputes over the release of information often involve the national security interests of a country and the public's right to information. So far, Levin continues to be in the spotlight, but there are no charges preferred against him at the moment. And of course, there are the ethical issues to consider. What does this mean for journalistic integrity and privacy? Here are the critical issues that Levin's leaks raise ethically. In the first place, one has to question the credibility of the journalists. Ethical journalism means that the news is accurate, presented in a balanced manner, and the information that is sensitive is dealt with appropriately. The way Levin got and delivered his information is at the core of this debate. Should Levin's information stem from credible and factual sources, the information he provides is as good as any investigative journalism. But if the information was gained unethically, or if the leaks are considered as misleading or contain sensationalism, it leads to questions about the ethicality of the reporting process. Another ethical dilemma that is important is the conflict of interest between the public and the people's privacy. The leaks contain not only the policy-related information but also the personal accusations concerning Obama. This gives rise to issues on privacy and the degree to which an individual is willing to share his/her information and the repercussions of such disclosures. Even though the public has a right to know about their leaders' behavior and choices, there is also a right to privacy and not to be harmed unnecessarily. The ethical issue here is to find out how far this can be done and how such revelations are in the public interest without degenerating into mere sensationalism and intrusion into people's private lives. Moreover, the leaks raise the question of how ethical the coverage of political scandals is in general. The inclination to concentrate on the scandalous and provocative aspects sometimes can lead the audience away from the political and legislative details and hamper the public's capacity to deliberate. This leads to some questions regarding the position of media and commentators as far as the formation of the public opinion is concerned, and the measures they are to take to ensure that ethical norms are not violated. What do you think about these revelations? Are they a game changer for Obama's legacy, or just another chapter in the ever-evolving world of political controversy? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you found this analysis engaging, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay updated with the latest in political news and commentary. Your engagement helps us continue to bring you in-depth and thought-provoking content. Thanks for watching.